Hey everybody. This I think is the very last video in this round of animation um, refactoring. It was like I guess it ended up being five fairly small iterations. Um, in the meantime, I did find a bug that I'll kind of go over probably at the end of this video. But for now, I guess I'll just go over this animation. So we have here is a light that's starting at, let's see, let me change that to -1. Or maybe I'll change them both to 1. I think that's probably better. Um, so we have a light that's basically coming right down the middle. Let's see, I'm going to put this at the show the z. So it starts at -5 on the z and ends at 5 on the z. So if I pause it, it's at -5 here, and then here it's at +5, which the camera is, I believe, at +5. So it's basically sitting at the camera. So as I move it back, it's moving towards it, and it's right at the same height, or it's right above it. So like right now, it's directly above them, and then as now it's behind them. So the light is kind of everything looks less bright because it's a little bit darker and it's kind of being blocked. I think. Let me go look at the Y. I know these guys are sitting at -2. Okay, yeah. So the Y is at 1. I'm gonna move it to 2, so it's a little higher. And then as we move it back here, so there's the light. So what I can do and what I often do is I can add a light mesh that follows along with it. So light, and I can't remember exactly where it's at, and it needs to be a sphere. It needs to be zero point 0.1 in radius, and then it needs to be animated. And here's our animation. So the light, we'll just match that up to, and then in the X, we'll match that up so that they're both at 0 on the X at the beginning and the end, and then in the Z, make it -5 and 5. So the light's way back there. There's a light right back there, and then as we do this, the light's kind of above it. You can kind of see now it's in front of it, and now we can't really see the light anymore because it's above us. So what I can do is I can go to the Y, and let's lower the lights in general. 1, 1, 1, and 1. Nope, still not high enough. Let's try 0 and 0. Okay, so the problem is not the height of it. It's that it's sitting there. Okay, yeah. See, it's the light is, well, it still feels like it's above us. So, um, okay, I'm gonna move these to 0 and 0. Yeah, there we go. Now the light's coming right at us. It's right at the camera. Now it's directly above it, right in front of the camera, and then that's pretty cool. I love it. I think these are really legit animations. I think they would be way better if we could actually have letters and stuff. Um, the general, more useful, I guess, for commercial purposes. But this is pretty cool. Um, so for the code, let me just go over the code. I moved these two functions out of the ThreeJS service. And as part of that, one of the things that these two functions used to do is they used to actually broadcast or publish the fact that they had been that these animation pairs have been updated, and I really want all the publishing to happen in the ThreeJS service. So basically, um, the animation service has all like sort of the logics and all that go into it and the state of the animations, but that the communication outside of the animations or outside to the components would happen in the main ThreeJS service, generic service. So basically, one change is changing this set animation pairs and changing the reference to within the animation service. And then the other thing is moving the code out of the animation set animation pairs and then broadcasting or publishing or changing the signal that tells everything else that it's been updated. And basically, that's all these are. Basically, it was find and replace throughout the whole thing. Now, there is a crazy little, yeah, this is where they were actually removed, um, a crazy bug that I had been sort of seeing every once in a while. I could not quite figure it out. There was a video probably about 4 or 5 back where I had run into this bug and I just could never duplicate it. So basically, what you do, what what happens is sometimes you cannot see like these in the drop down. So what you have to do is you go like this, you go to the animation, and you so one, animate the scene. Okay, two, select red from the animation drop down. So come over here, scroll down to red, and then come in here and add a mesh, and then animate the mesh. And then go back into the animations and then select the animation, the X position. And we can't see our animation there. And now I believe what I can do is I can come back into the mesh at this point, unanimate it and reanimate it. And I believe it comes back. Yeah, it comes back. And I think that what I've seen is that if whatever can be animated doesn't match doesn't match, like, so um, see, this was added while we were looking at this, and there is no red that we haven't I haven't implemented red for meshes yet to be able to animate red. So that seems to be what is causing this. Now, exactly what, I don't know. But I definitely want to fix that before I do what is really next. The next thing that I need to work on is animating the or not animating, upgrading to Angular 18. And this one I'm really concerned with because I would imagine that this application makes heavy use of Zone.js, but maybe not. Maybe not, because I am doing almost all the updates are in the ThreeJS service, um, and that is outside of Zone.js. But all of this sort of like if I change this to, and then I go to the mesh and I see that was definitely a Zone.js kind of thing. And I definitely think that by Angular, 25, 26, they will probably be like moving completely away from Zone.js. And by 30, they probably will be like, what's Zone.js? And why would anybody have ever used that? It's kind of weird how cocky or arrogant um, future developers are when they're looking back at the stuff that was before. They'll be like, "Oh, Zone.js, what a stupid idea." That's what they'll say, but it's actually very brilliant. But it is a, basically, it sounds like it was great, but now Angular is moving away from that, and I definitely don't want this application to be dependent on Zone.js. My understanding is there's a setting that's going to be in the Angular.json that says like Zone.js optional is equal to true or false or something like that. And so I definitely would like to get away from Zone.js ASAP. I think Zone.js is still absolutely used though in Angular material and things like that. So I don't think you can get away from it completely. But I definitely want to have that on my radar because I want this application to continue to grow and be huge and be awesome in 10 years. But anyways, happy coding, everybody. Bye.